you wonder what makes a leader behave and communicate the way that they do? Do they have certain traits that non-leaders don't have? Are they born leaders, or is this something that they've learned? These are all questions that may be asked about leaders and their traits. These questions can be reviewed and answered by the trait theory. My name is Cassandra Brown, and I'm here to discuss with you the trait theory as it relates to leaders and their traits and communication styles. First, let's define what a leader is. According to Butler, Willis put together a composite definition of a leader. A leader must have the audacity to stand on unpopular, never heard of creative positions for the good of the organization. They must empower others to be a part of the vision, and they must have faith and stamina to make it happen simply because it's the right thing to do. We usually think of our pastors, work bosses, government officials, or community officials as leaders. These individuals usually display the same types of attitudes and sometimes similar personalities. Traits are something that make us who we are. When it comes to leaders, it was seen that they show different traits than non-leaders. Traits are essential to humans and the way that we behave. According to Littlejohn and Falls, a trait is a distinguishing quality or characteristic. It is an individual's relatively consistent way of thinking, feeling, and behaving across situations. So therefore, leaders do with different traits. They do have different traits, but these traits allow them to act differently, think differently, and feel differently, behave differently with different events and situations. Depending on the situation, they wouldn't react like others. Traits influence the way that people communicate and behave in certain situations. And an event that can be devastating to others and cause them to act hysterical will not affect the way leaders in the same way. Leaders will react much differently. For example, me working at a bank in the IT department, if a person pushes the wrong button in the wrong program and deletes 100 users, branch users that need to have their access, the employee may panic. They may be fearful of losing their job. They may be fearful or not because they pressed the wrong button. They couldn't get things back together. They don't really know what to do, and they're reacting hysterical, and they're not calm. But their leader and their boss may come up to them and calm them and be calm about it and fix the situation just like that. But they reacted totally different. Where the employee was hysterical and panicking, heart beating, sweating, the boss was calm, solved the situation very quickly, and tried to calm the situation so that the problem could be solved faster than just sitting there fussing and reacting and being hysterical about deleting 100 users. When it comes to the trait theory, it's very important to communication research because it focuses on the study of communications of humans. This theory states that people exhibit communication styles that affect their traits. That are affected by their traits. This theory also states that behavior during a particular event is a result of a person's traits and components of the situation and event. So just like I described earlier about a boss being calm about a situation of deleting 100 users and getting that situation rectified, and an employee that's hysterical because they were the ones that deleted the users and they really don't know what to do. This here particular theory states, people react differently. People with certain traits react differently to different situations, and that goes for leaders and non-leaders. Leaders act differently to situations than non-leaders would act. There are also several models that are associated with the trait theory, but one in particular is the 5-factor model, which was created by Ernest Tuples and Raymond Kristol in 1961. This model includes neuroticism, extroversions, openness, agreeableness, and conscientiousness. when it comes to a neuroticism of a leader, it's shown through their ability to exhibit emotional stability. This factor measures the ability for someone to handle stress. A person with a positive emotional stability is calm, secure, and confident. So this relates all back to that situation that I said earlier about the leading 100 users. The boss came in, was calm, cool, and collect, and was able to get the problem solved quick because they were confident and they were secure in their knowledge and their position to know that they could get this problem situated. Which neuroticism is great. It's a great thing to be exhibited by a leader. Extroversion is shown by an individual being outgoing. They're assertive. They're acting and seeking excitement. So most leaders that you know are outgoing. They're very assertive. They seek excitement. They're excited about what they do. They want to make their team excited about what they do. This is a trait of an effective leader. A person, and this extroversion measures a person's comfort level when it comes to building relationships with others. And leaders exhibit this factor. They are very sociable and they are assertive. So you can see that leaders that are comfortable and they're out there, they're outgoing, you can go ahead and display these people as being effective leaders. When it comes to the openness factor, it's shown by a person being creative, imaginative, and perspective and thoughtful. These people are curious and artistically inclined. Agreeableness is the factor where people display gentleness, kindness, warmness, and are considered to be trustworthy. And as a leader, you want your people, your subordinates, to believe that you are trustworthy, to know that you are trustworthy and kind and warm, and they can come talk to you and you're very approachable, and you're someone that they can trust, because if they trust you, then they'll be behind you and they'll follow your vision as it states. That's what a leader is, someone who empowers people to be able to follow their vision. And if people trust you, then they're willing to follow your vision. Conscientiousness is displayed by a person being dependable and focused on achievement. And that's leaders all the way. They always have goals for their teams and departments to achieve. They always have goals themselves to achieve. And they're very, very dependable. They're responsible, they're organized, and they're persistent. Which makes their subordinates feel comfortable and happy to work for them. It's a pleasure to work for people that are responsible and organized and will be there whenever you need them. Also, there are several forms of the trait theory, but the most common forms that are researched all the time is argumentativeness and communication anxiety. According to Littlejohn and Foss, argumentativeness is the tendency to engage in a conversation about controversial topics to support your own point of view and refute others' beliefs. Littlejohn and Foss also suggested that this concept can improve learning by helping people to understand other people's point of view, enhancing their credibility, and building communication between others. So this is a trait that is exhibited by a leader. Also, when it comes to communication anxiety, is where a person has the fear about communicating with others. So this trait is one that wouldn't be exhibited by a leader. This theory also states that this theory is also one where people with the anxiety, they hide and they don't want to be out and seen by others. Through the research performed for this presentation, the findings show that leaders do exhibit different traits from non-leaders. Traits such as being assertive, charismatic, organizers, motivators, understanding, and effective performers and problem solvers. And also through this research, it was found that leaders are able to use the trait theory to examine themselves as leaders and their communication styles and make improvements in communication with their communication and leadership styles to make them a more effective leader. I appreciate you listening to me today, and I hope you found something that will allow you to use the trait theory to become a more effective and efficient leader. Thank you.